broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Woodstock, Georgia. It's time for Kid Biz Radio.
Kid Biz Radio creates conversations about the power of entrepreneurship and the positive impact that journey can have on kids.
For more information, go to kidbizexpo.com. Now, here's your hosts.
Hello, welcome to Kid Biz Radio. I'm Layla.
And I'm Austin.
And today we have an awesome guest with us in the studio, Lauren with BME Home.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us today. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your business before we get started?
Absolutely. I am Lauren Stallings with BME Home. It is a full lifestyling business, so I do everything from wardrobe consulting to home organization. So yeah, cover a little bit, but it's a little bit, it's in depth when I get in with my clients. So they kind of get an all-in-one rather than having to hire 4 different companies.
Makes sense.
Do you work with like the whole family or like the mom or whatever?
I'm nodding my head like somebody's watching this, right? Yes, I do. I work, so BME actually stands for Boss Mom Empire. Okay. I am a mom. I have an 11-year-old son. He's turning 12, sometimes thinks he's 21. I'm sure both of you probably understand that. Absolutely. But he's the reason for everything that I do, and I have a passion for it. So I'm leaving a legacy for him. And I actually started this business in February.
Okay.
It all began when I started my nonprofit 2 years ago.
Okay. We're very familiar with nonprofits.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's why I'm excited to be here.
All right. So you just kind of said when you got started and why, but how did you get started with your business?
Honestly, I've spent 9.5 years as a first responder and in the public safety. Yeah, it's
really cool.
It is cool though.
9 years in that world. It's more like 20. After 5, it feels like you've been there for 10.
Wow. Okay.
So, this is just a passion of mine. And with the nonprofit, we would actually use the funds to go into nominated moms' bedrooms, and completely flip and restyle their bedrooms to give them
amazing.
Like an oasis. And then this just kind of became a passion. So February of this year, I started it and left, the police department I was working at full time. And I haven't looked back since.
Wow. All right.
Through that journey, what have you done that has helped you really succeed?
I've stayed consistent.
That definitely helps.
Accountability is a big thing too. Like when I make a mistake, I'm the first to apologize to it. I offer, any kind of other service that I can go back and help my clients with if something has happened. But staying consistent with outreach, network, podcasting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being involved with, my clients become my family. And my friends, so
I feel like that's always a good thing to have.
It is, and especially because I'm coming into their homes and I'm touching their stuff, and I'm having to help them reorganize their life.
Has to be much more personal.
Yeah, I feel like you have to become close with them at that point.
Absolutely, for sure.
So, based on being successful and becoming this successful entrepreneur you are now, what would you define success as? Because I feel like everyone has their own definition of it.
The best version I've ever heard is success is individual. You're comparing yourself to somebody else. And I was 14 once, and I keep that in my head, and now I'm raising a preteen. Your definition of success is not what that person next to you is going to be. And it's not what the popular girls is. It's not what the outcast girl is. It's not what the jock is. And girl to girl, it's a really big moment when you can look at it and say, my success is being able to reach the goals in my own life. You mentioned Zelda. My kid's obsessed. It's so ridiculous.
I personally haven't played, but I've watched her play, and she loves it.
It's a different thing because that's her thing, right? You're like, I'll play it. Same thing. I'll play it with him. But do I know all the ins and outs? Don't ask me a single question about it because I have no idea.
I've played once. I know nothing.
Exactly. It's like I'll sit down and play with you, and we can have a good time. But that's what success is cheering her on while also accomplishing your own stuff that might be different than what she has. So it's one of those things that somebody else told me about 3 years ago, and it's your success is always individual. It's never going to be what somebody else is doing. That's comparison. So knowing the definition and the difference between those two actually helps you go a lot further in life.
That's really different from what other people have said.
We've got really a lot of different responses, but that one's going to stick.
Good. I'm glad.
All right. So obviously, becoming an entrepreneur has a long path. Usually takes a little minute to, get into the groove of things. What are some, regrets that you have maybe when you started up your business, or things you wish you would have done differently?
To be honest, I wish I would have started sooner. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to do other things. Like I just finished a commission drawing that somebody had me draw up. That was their coworker in front of the house that was started by her family. Okay. So I finished that drawing as a Christmas present. I'm currently writing a children's book.
Oh, okay.
And I've already published 2 other books. So the entrepreneur world is not new to me.
Okay.
I've kind of always been into it, and it's because I was raised by somebody that was in a corporate environment. And I didn't like that. So like I said, I just spent 9.5 years in public safety, but public safety, especially as a 911 dispatcher, you get new things every phone call.
Yeah.
So it's always different. You can't prepare
Never
yourself.
the same thing.
It's not ever going to be. Like one choking is going to be different than another choking, as crazy as that is. But one baby birth is different than another baby birth. I've done that too.
Oh,
really?
So,
You've done everything.
Yeah, well, almost. I haven't published the children's book yet.
Well, we're getting there.
So it's just that I haven't started sooner.
Okay.
Based on that, do you have any more advice for aspiring entrepreneurs to help prevent some of those downfalls?
Maybe help them get started sooner?
So do your research on what you want to do. But the other thing I think as an entrepreneur when you're starting is that adventure, and I say adventure, some people say venture. I say adventure because you're learning something through that whole process.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be fun. And even if it fails and whatever, again, so your definition of success and your definition of failure are going to be completely different than what mine are, than what my sons are, than what either of you might share as well. But when you get to that failure point, you can reevaluate and go, okay, what did I learn in this that's going to make it easier the next go around? And so I learned a lot through the nonprofit that led me to be able to do my business now and actually make it a limited liability company with the state and register it. And it made it a lot easier. So knowing what path you want to go down and knowing that your passions are going to change will actually help you get started in one adventure to another. And knowing it's not work if you love what you do.
Yeah. If you love what you do, you're not going to feel like you're working. If you love what you do, you're going to be having fun and actually enjoying life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the corporate world has put a bad connotation on the word work.
Look at you at I love this conversation, ladies. You are correct, and it has. And it's changed a lot, though. So, now you see police officers and firefighters, they have their tattoos. They can share all of that. And even in the corporate world, there's a lot of them that you can still do that. And so it's changing. As you guys go into all of that, you'll get there.
I'm sure there's still a few people who obviously like having the same routine, going behind a desk, having a computer. But there's also a lot of people who don't because it gets pretty boring pretty quick. You can't have the same thing.
First, for some people like that, and it's fun.
Well, yes, obviously this is not for everybody. But.
Right.
So we've talked a lot about the past and the present. Let's talk about some future things. What are some future goals you have for your business?
I just actually achieved one of them.
Really?
I did. So I have been in business full time since February.
Well, that's exciting.
So I know I've got 2 more months to make it, actually 1.5 more months to make it to a full 12. But I wanted to have 50 clients for the first year. And I actually just surpassed that. And in 1 week, when I needed 6 more clients, I actually went to 52 clients.
Wow.
So
that's
impressive.
Amazing. That is amazing.
I was like, okay, the universe is looking out for me right now.
The universe is on your side.
So just growing that and meeting that future goal and being able to really kind of get other people on board with me and here's something about hiring people. Whenever you go to run a business, if your intent is to hire somebody and expand your business, then they should be making you money. You shouldn't be worried about spending money. And that's the one thing that I learned in an entrepreneurial class recently, because I'm still in school, 10 years. I always like to learn. But for me, it's going to be able to bring people on and trust in myself and in what they do, that they can bring to my business. As long as we align in values and stuff, then my business is going to continue to grow. So
yeah, that's really wonderful. Good. Okay, so on to those deep questions we were talking about. So you might have to think about it for a minute and take your time. If you had the attention of the world for 5 minutes, everyone was listening to what you were saying, paying attention to you, all eyes on you, what would you say to them?
Stop comparing yourself to other people and you'll stop bullying others. I'm a really big, so I coach. I told you guys this before the show.
You did.
And I 100% love it. Cross country literally lasts for 9 months. And then we have track and field for another 2 months. So out of all of the entire year, I have 1 month without any kind of sport.
Yeah.
But that's something that I try to instill in a lot of the kids that I coach, and the kids that I talk to, my son's kids. And those five, because even as adults, you still struggle with that.
Yeah.
And
It definitely carries on.
it does. And it's hard to break the older that you get, the more money that you spend on therapy too. Know that firsthand. So
That
when you
might
have,
help.
when you have really good parents that want to start you out and give you that passion and see if you really like something, that helps kind of squelch she taking pictures of us.
She is. They do that periodically.
Got it. But it allows you, if in those 5 minutes, just stop comparing yourself to other people, and it stops the bullying, because that's when you stop looking at somebody and the jealousy stops and the hatred stops.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, but
Yeah, it's a hard one to break.
and I know both of you are probably at school, so you've heard enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard it a good bit.
Yeah. The one thing I think I would do though, if I had the 5 minutes, so I would have everybody close their eyes, and I've done this with a couple of my kids before. Close their eyes, be far enough apart, and I'd ask one question. Who in here has ever been bullied by somebody in your life? That means family, friends, coworkers, school, colleagues, anything along those lines. With your eyes shut, raise your hand. Every single time I've done that, 80% of the room has their hand raised. Now I've got both of you thinking.
I'm
Turn the
thinking
tables
about
real
it.
quick.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
How's that for your deep question?
That was good.
That was a very good answer. We got a lot of different answers to that question. That was a very good one.
Okay, so the second question. If you woke up tomorrow without your business, like it was just gone, what would be your first steps to recovery, or would you even try to
As
recover?
if it never existed.
As if it never existed.
Yeah.
Kind of like Groundhog Day or something.
Okay. Didn't expect Groundhog Day on that one. As if it never existed. I would find what my passion is. Because if it wasn't this, then it wouldn't exist. So, but what does excite me? What makes me want to get up and go to work? What makes me want to bring the money in and make a 6-figure month? And if it's not this, then it's something else. I'm a creative person. So if I did wake up tomorrow, it would have to be something in the creative world. I've done corporate. We're
done.
Yeah. Done the insurance world. I've
Been
done
there,
public
done that.
safety. I got the check marks and
Yep.
all of the clothes still.
Yep.
Probably should organize my own closet. But like
I
that,
feel like it's ironic that you organize other people's, but yours may not be.
I have to hire people for that, because if I'm doing your house, I don't want to go home and do mine.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it would have to be something in the creative services, but I know exactly where to start now.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be as hard.
That would definitely be
That's
helpful. Okay, so we just asked 2 deep questions that you have to think about. We're going to do some quick this or that now so that you don't got to think. Just answer as fast as you can. All right, so here we go. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Spider-Man or Batman?
Spider-Man.
Books or movies?
Both. I can't do this or that on that one.
Waffle or curly fries?
Curly fries.
Mountains or the beach?
Beach.
Yeah. I saw that when you walked in.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Chocolate or fruity candy?
Fruity.
Cake or pie?
Say that one more time.
Cake or pie?
Oh, thought you said pinkie pie.
It's not
Cake.
really a question. Low or high rise jeans?
I'm a millennial, low rise.
They're coming back.
They are.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
All the way.
All the way. Yeah, we don't do our days with horror.
I feel
no.
like a horror comedy is always a good combo in movies.
Anything done in the 80s, you've got it.
Yeah. Okay, well, obviously that was a good this or that round. Thank you, Lauren, so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. Can you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and check out what you're doing?
Absolutely. So my biggest form of communication currently is either through my website, which is BME Home LLC.com, or on my Facebook or social media pages, which you can find us at the BME Home.
All right.
Very, very nice. Fantastic. We enjoyed our time with you today, and we know that our audience will get so much out of hearing your story. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank
Thanks
you
so much.